Welcome to the next chapter in our own life in this video series. Have you ever stood somewhere, maybe in the middle of a crowd, maybe completely alone, and felt it? That hollow, quiet ache, that sense that something is missing, something you cannot name, something just beyond reach. Billions of people throughout all of human history have felt exactly that feeling, and they have asked the same questions. Questions so old they echo through every language, every civilization, every era. Where is God? How can he be reached? Is there even a God at all? And if he exists, why doesn't he show himself? These are not the questions of the weak or the confused. These are the most honest questions a human being can ask. And today, in this video, we are going to go deep into those questions. Not to give you a religion, not to recruit you into a church, not to sell you a doctrine, but to offer you something far more personal, far more direct, and far more liberating than any of that. My name is not the important, and this is a conversation about the most important search any human being can undertake, the search for the living God. Not in a building, not in a uniform, not in a ritual, but in the very place where he has always been, inside you. Stay with me, because what we are about to explore will challenge everything you have been told about religion, and it may very well change your life. The God Seeker's Dilemma. In our loud, hectic, hyper-connected world, more and more people are asking about God. And it is not a coincidence. It is not a trend. It is something deeper. Something the soul is driving, because the soul, in its very depths, is homesick. It is always reaching, always longing, always searching. But here is what so many sincere, honest, deeply searching people experience. They go looking for God. They look in the right places, or so they are told. They join a religion. They follow the teachers. They learn the prayers. They perform the rituals. They sit through the services. And then they wait, and they feel a spark, maybe more than a spark, a warmth, a sense of belonging. The community embraces them, the music moves them, the words inspire them, and they think, I've found it, I've finally come home. But then, slowly, almost imperceptibly, the warmth fades, the doubts return, the questions knock again, because that spark of truth they found, it was real, but it was partial, incomplete, a piece of something much, much larger. And they had not become a new person. The promise of transformation had not fully arrived. And so the seeker sets out again. Maybe they explore another tradition, then another, each time finding something beautiful, something valuable, a spark here, a ray of light there, and they ask themselves the logical question: if I could gather all the sparks from all the religions, from all the spiritual paths, would I then have found God? I searched and searched. I was in this religion and in that one, and up until now I have neither seen nor found God. Does that sound familiar? Because it describes the experience of millions of people alive today, sincere people, honest people, intelligent people, people who desperately want to believe but keep bumping against a wall. And then there is the other dimension of this search, the one that stops people in their tracks, the one that turns sincere seekers into reluctant skeptics. And it is not abstract, it is very human. It is the sight of the external trappings of religion, the golden robes, the towering cathedrals, the ornate headgear, the expensive vestments, worn by men who preach humility to people who cannot afford a warm meal. It is a striking contradiction, and it raises a question that is almost too uncomfortable to ask out loud. Why would God want any of this? Why would the creator of the universe need costumes and ceremonies and chains of command? Why does finding God require going through another human being at all? These are not cynical questions, they are honest ones, and they deserve honest answers. The radical truth: God is already here. Here is the truth. the truth that changes everything, the truth that religious institutions have too often buried under centuries of ceremony and hierarchy. Are you ready? Because it is so simple, it almost seems too good to be true. No one needs to take an external step to find God. Not a single external step, not a pilgrimage, not a membership, not an initiation, not a ritual, not a building, not a priest or pastor or imam or rabbi or guru, not a holy robe, not even a formal prayer. Why? Because the eternal Spirit, the one whom we in the Western world call God, is not somewhere else. God is not in a location. God is not behind a set of gates that require a key holder to let you in. God is omnipresent. Do you know what omnipresent means? It means present everywhere, simultaneously, always, without exception. The omnipresent free spirit of infinity, God, is in the nature kingdoms, in every tree, in every small plant pushing through the soil, in the grass beneath your feet, in the animal that meets your gaze with inexplicable intelligence, in the stone that has endured for 1,000 years, in the mighty cosmos stretching billions of light years, in